It is a competition called Pole Dance Theater. It's coming to Saskatoon. Joining me now is event organizer Sarah Longpre. Good morning.
Good morning.
So this is, I guess we should start by, people hear the word pole dancing. Yeah. There's a stigma attached to that.
That's right.
But this, let's just put that away right now. Okay, this is an internationally renowned competitive sport, and you are bringing it to Saskatoon for a second year now. Tell us what Pole Dance Theater is all about.
Pole Theater Canada.
Pole Theater Canada. What is that all about?
So Pole Theater Canada was started in Australia, actually, by two famous competitors over in Australia. So Maddie Sparkles and Michelle Shimmy, they are incredible. So the entire basis of Pole Theater Canada is that they want competitors to be able to put out something artistic without really any bounds. So there are 4 different categories in Pole Theater Canada. There's pole art. Competitors have to do a dance piece with it. So competitors have to, I've seen in the years, I've seen ballet, I've seen hip hop, we've had sword dancing, belly dancing. There's been such a variety of dance styles added into it.
Okay. So on a pole, though? On
a pole.
Okay.
They still have a full stage to use, so competitors are allowed to have props. They can bring human props onto stage. It's a whole production, which is what I love about it. So it's really cool to see what the competitors bring. Everybody has a different background. There's of course athleticism to pole, but there's also the artistic side of it. And so that's where it's really fun to see competitors, what they have to bring to it. So pole art is incredible because it incorporates a dance style. Pole drama is another category that we have where competitors have to create a storyline. There has to be a clear beginning, middle, and end. And so this is one that is very cool to see how competitors will tell a story on stage. Again, they often use, whether it is props or they'll do a projection behind them. So they use a projection screen to ensure that there's a photo or video pieces behind it to create a whole piece. So that's a really cool thing. They incorporate, obviously, music into it as well. There's pole comedy, and so comedy, the entertainers, they have to be entertaining. They have to, the judges are strictly really looking for how the audience is reacting to it. Does everybody think it's funny? How is it being received? And so that's a really fun one because everybody's humor is different, right?
Comedy is a particular thing. That could be the toughest category.
So I've always said that it's one of the hardest ones to pull off because the idea has to be able to really work with a wide audience. So it's really cool to see what people bring with comedy. And then there's Pole Classique, which is where we really want to honor where pole comes from. The competitors have to wear heels. They have to remove an article of clothing throughout the performance. And so it's really honoring that sexy side of pole.
Okay, and these are all judged?
And these are all judged.
Who are the judges?
I'm bringing in 3 judges this year. So there are 2 coming from the States. One is based out of LA, San Francisco, Montana, out of the 3. She travels and she's an incredible instructor and competitor. Another one coming from New York, and then the 3rd judge is coming from Australia this year.
All right, and now having this in Saskatoon is pretty special because this is the only place in Canada where this is happening.
That's right. So Pole Theater Canada was, like I said, started out of Australia, but it is on most continents now. So it's really cool to see. There's a lot of competitions based out of Europe. There is a Pole Theater USA, there's a Pole Theater Brazil, there's also across the world. It's really cool to see how we can bring this together, and so to bring a piece of it to Saskatoon, to me, is so special. Okay,
so it is an internationally growing, up and coming even, sport and competition. And how can we check it out? When and where, and how can we partake?
So we'll be at Persephone Theatre June 6th and 7th. It is the Friday, Saturday night. Our Friday night is our semi-professional competitors, so they will be competing at 6:30 p.m. on Friday, June 6th, and then on Saturday, June 7th, we have our pro show, and that's also where the judges will also be doing a guest performance. So they're all coming in. The tickets are available on poletheatercanada.org.
Okay, now, are you competing?
I am not competing.
Okay, you have in the past.
I have in the past.
What happens if, what is the winner do they move on, or what happens after this event?
What happens with Pole Theatre Canada and Pole Theatre across the board, there's going to be one winner announced for each category at the end of the show, and then there's an overall winner. So the overall winner, or anybody who wins a category, let's say they win in the semi-pro show, that means they get to move to the professional division the following year.
Oh, okay.
If the pros win, they hold a very prestigious title, but they also get invited to Pole Theatre Worlds, which gets hosted every few years.
Is there a championship belt?
Do you know what? They have sashes.
That's a joke.
I will look at getting one formed.
Was a joke. I didn't mean to stump you. Yeah, okay. I understand. I'm sure there's got to be a trophy or something.
There's sashes, and there's
Okay. I'm sorry about that. Yes, okay. June 6th and 7th, the Persephone Theatre, Pole Theatre Canada is coming. Thank you so much, Sarah, and best of luck with the event.
Thank you for having me.